all right. Welcome everyone to Summer 1 Kids Camp Training. Thank you so much for being here. First, I just want to continue with that. I realize that not only is it a Sunday afternoon, and most of the time you guys are probably hanging out and resting and getting ready for the week, and so you're giving up your time on Sunday afternoon for just to be here. So thank you for doing that. You know, that's a sacrifice. And then in addition to that, you're giving 3 nights of your week to spend a lot of energy and time pouring into and investing in kids. So I just want to say thank you so much. I know that this isn't something that you have to do, and yet here you are sitting. So that says a lot about your heart and your willingness to serve in whatever capacity. So we feel really privileged to have you guys here, and thanks for making this a priority. As you know, we're extending Summer 1 Kids Camp into Summer 1 days. So we hope that you're able to plug in, not to volunteer, right? Just come and hang out on Saturday and Sunday, since you'll be spending a lot of time working. But I know there are a few crazy people here who are also serving on Saturday and Sunday. So for those of you amongst us, thank you. You get an extra jewel in your crown. So you're awesome. Well, we want to be able to get you out of here as soon as possible. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I know we're still waiting on a couple other people, but most of us are here. So just to begin, could you close your eyes and let's start our time in prayer this morning, afternoon, evening. It's a long day. Lord, we love you. Thank you so much for these leaders that are sitting here. God, I pray that you'd bless our time together. Lord, have your way with this week and all of the many things that are going on that'll be happening out on the fields or in the building or at a different location. God, we want to honor you in the way that we serve, in the way that we embrace the community that you've placed us in. So, Father, prepare our hearts to be leaders who humbly serve, and would you also prepare the hearts of people who are going to be walking through these doors. Lord, we're excited to see how you're going to move, and we ask all of these things in your name. Amen. All right, well, kind of our motto for this kids camp, because as the numbers come in and we try to get things figured out, flexibility is key. And so we just want to thank you in advance for coming. I know, like I said, you're going to be coming from long days of work, and so you'll probably be tired. But really what we're going to be trying to do throughout each one of the nights is to connect with purpose in whatever area that you're in. So from the very moment that you step into this building, that's on the front of your mind. Like, how can you connect with the different leaders amongst you, but most importantly with the kids the moment that they walk in, learn their names, get to know them in any of the games, to be able to look for all those different opportunities to connect. And we'll be talking a little bit more about that in detail. And then to lead with excellence, right? So whatever that we're doing, we want to have this be an act of worship, whether that's cleaning up after dinner, maybe you are a head coach somewhere, a huddle coach, to really prepare well so that the kids who come in here, who we get the opportunity to serve, really feel like we have prepared well for them and that we have prepared a place for them to be. And so really leading with excellence, and then serving with humility, like I said. We never know who will be coming through our doors or what sort of tasks that we'll be doing that night, just because numbers might change. We might have to move people around. So thank you so much in advance for just your humility and the way that we serve together as a team. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the schedule. For you guys, you will have a binder in front of you. And if you want to open that up, you will see a schedule on the front. You'll also have a little schedule, just right, not even having to open up, just right in your binder cover there. And so a little bit about that. I'm just going to walk you through. If you've been a part of Summer 1 Kids Camp in the past, then you kind of recognize this, you know kind of how the flow goes, but I'm just going to walk through it with you again, just because I know we have several new people. And for those who are new on the team, thanks so much for being here for the first time. So the first thing that I want to say, we have supper ready for our volunteer teams every single night, because I know you'll be getting here from work, and sometimes it's hard to get here at the time that we have. So supper will be ready for you, and we'll be having that at 4:50 at the house. So again, I know that sounds kind of early, but we just want to make sure that you guys have plenty of time to eat. So feel free to go to the house at 4:50 to eat, and then we'll start serving supper, like I said, until 5:20. We'll also have Ashton Mason. She's going to be one of our leaders checking in at the house as well. So when you go there for For supper, we'll meet you right there. We'll get you checked in, get your name tag and everything like that, so you won't have to do anything in addition to that as well. And we'll have tables set up in the living room as well as outside underneath the tree, so in the shade, so there'll be lots of seating room. So bring your kids, come and hang out with us. There's different people who are making the food each night and serving it, so we hope that that's a blessing for you, as I know that, just like I said, getting here on time might be hard. Thank you. What service? Thanks. You lead with excellence and humility. All right. But you don't have to eat supper with us if you don't want to. We're like, oh, I'm going to go to Olive Garden before. Totally cool. That's fine. The time that you need to be here by is no later than 5:25. So if you don't want to do supper, then you need to come straight to the church, and we'll have those 3 tables ready to do volunteer check-in. So you're going to want to check in yourself as well as your kids. And if you have any nursery age kids, so anyone under the age of 3, that's when you'll go ahead and check them in as well, and you'll take them to the nursery at that time. Then right after that, you're going to come straight into here in the auditorium at 5:30 for our volunteer meeting. Every night, this is really important to be on time for, because we're going to go through any special announcements that might have come up from the night before. Maybe we figured out something, we want to change something within the schedule. This will also be your time to meet with your head coach, so the person that's in charge of the session that you're helping with. So they'll kind of tell you about the plan for that night. And then we'll pray together. So that's all really important things that you need to be here right at 5:30. If you have elementary kids and early child age kids as well, just bring them in here and we'll just all sit down and just have a very brief meeting. Like I said, it'll just be very short. This is also our way of making sure that everyone is here on time so that we can start registration for the doors to be open. So if we don't have all the huddle coaches here right at that time, then we can't really open up the doors and let kids come in, because huddle coaches, your main role is to build relationships with the kids. And if they don't have anyone to come and sit with, then we're not really well prepared for them. So please, what time do you be here? Well, that was a lot of different times. 5:30 in here for our team meeting. What time do you be here? Great, awesome, you're so on top of it. Then at 5:45, we'll start child registration. It's always 15 minutes before, which means when we'll let the community come in and begin coming in here as well. So for the rally services, Brittany is going to come up and talk in a little bit about that. But just so you'll know, we'll have you be at different stations. There'll be balloons that will mark the color, as well as signs that you'll hold up. So when your kids come in, we'll have ushers that will be leading them to the right colored balloon. And so you'll always be by that balloon at that specific place in the auditorium. We'll tell you a little bit more about that during our team meeting as well on Wednesday night. And also, for some of you guys, if you are Pam Mara, Nick Loganbill, Haley Reichman, Abby Mara, Sarah Loganbill, Todd Bowman, Drew Spiker, Trevor Addis, Melissa Hoffman, Amanda Addis, and Luke Johnson, you guys have this special piece of paper in your binders, which means you guys are in charge of being a usher or a greeter. On there, I have placed specific instructions of where you stand and what you're going to be doing. So it's pretty straightforward on there. I'm not going to go through each one of those, but right at 5:45, that means that you go to this spot every single night, and you're always that greeter or you're always that usher. I will say, for those who are usher number 3, you guys, what you'll do is you'll just stand in a line kind of by the sound booth, because the kids will always be entering in this door and they'll always be exiting that door. So that's kind of how you'll lead them in. The moment that the parents come in, we really want to be able to help them, because it can kind of feel chaotic in here. There's tons of kids, it's very loud, it's hard to kind of figure out which balloon color do I go to. So your guys' roles is to literally take them, introduce yourself, and ask them if you can walk them to the right group. Then you'll walk them over, you'll introduce them to the huddle coach, you'll explain to the parent that they need to make sure that they have the security check-in tag, right? Because if they don't have that when they pick up, we can't release them unless we see their driver's license. We've had parents get really upset about this in the past, but it's for the safety, because there's going to be a lot of kids that we don't actually know from the community, so we want to make sure that we're letting them go to the right people. So just make sure that you explain that to the parents as you're dropping off. And then you're just going to walk them back out to the exit doors. So just keep on going back, getting in line and taking another family, so then each family has someone that can accompany them to the right group. Do you guys have any questions about this? The ushers or greeters? Pretty easy, really straightforward. All right, cool. Let me see what else I have on here that I wanted to do. Also, the person who's going to be at the door, usher number 2, which is Todd Bowman, and he's not here, so I'll explain that to him later. But if you see any kids wearing cleats, could you please ask them to take that off? We actually are going to have a place for them to put their shoes in the back, and that's because this is a floating floor. I don't really know what that means, other than it's really easy to get holes in it, I guess. So don't have them wear cleats, because we don't want holes in the floor. That would be great. Let's see. Okay. The other thing that I want to say is also make sure that you wear your t-shirt every single night. You'll have to figure out a washing schedule with that, because you'll be really sweaty. Good luck on that one. And the other note that I made is for railroad. The railroad, I don't know if you guys have seen that, but for those of you who might be having to cross the railroad there. Yeah? Is that the direction? Yeah, okay. Directionally challenged. It's closed, so don't go that way for the week of camp. Make sure you come around, because we'll be sending out an email to remind you all. We'll also be reminding the families as well, but I know that can kind of keep you guys away. So this time, I'm going to have Brittany, our rally director, tell you guys a little bit more about that. There you go.
Hello. I want to echo what Sarah said and just say thank you for being here. Thanks for being here this week. You guys get to be the hands and feet of Jesus this week to a whole bunch of really cute kids. So thank you. Thank you for doing that. Okay, so I do get to be the rally director this year, so I'm really excited about that. So I want to hit just a few different things. First of all, your huddle group time. If you're a huddle group coach, let's focus on that first, and then I'll talk about what's up there on the slide. If you are a huddle group coach, your huddle group time is actually going to be after the halftime rally this year. We thought that might be a good way for you guys to extend our lesson if we had you go after the halftime rally instead of before. So that will just really act like a small group time for you and your huddle group to talk together about what we talked about in the halftime rally. To be able to, we've put like a few different icebreaker questions in there that are kind of fun for them to answer. You'll kind of talk about your group name one of the nights, which just kind of gives some good teamwork to your huddle group. It just makes everyone kind of buy into being a group for the whole kids camp. So make that fun, make that inviting for them. And then also just take time to listen to them as they're sharing either, it could be something from the icebreaker that's completely silly, but not rushing them through that, letting them have fun with it, because that's why we're here, right? We're here to have fun and to learn about God. So just taking time to listen to them and extend the lesson the best you know how. And all of that is going to be in your binders. If you're a huddle group coach, that will be in your binders, the questions that you're supposed to ask. So don't worry, you don't have to come up with that on your own, okay? And then, okay, so let's talk about the rally for a second. And this includes everyone who is in this room while we're doing rally. We want you guys to participate fully. So what does that look like? That looks like standing on your feet, getting into the motions of all the songs, and if you want to feel better about yourself, just make sure you find me, watch me do all the motions to the songs, and then you'll feel really good about what's going on with you, okay? So participate fully. You guys just have fun with them, because if you're having fun, they're going to be wanting to have fun too. So also looking for opportunities to just connect with them, getting to know them, getting to know what their interests are, and getting the opportunity to share God with them, to extend whatever the lesson is, whatever our mega point is for that night, making sure that you repeat that over and over with them, especially if you have a long walk from any of the fields in the house over there, that is a great opportunity for you to just drive home those mega points night after night. And then just helping the kids engage and listen, of course, is important. There's going to be a lot going on. Sarah mentioned it's going to be loud in here, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But helping the kids stay engaged into what is going on and what we're talking about is going to be important as well. Okay, so let's talk about behavior and discipline for a second. You'll notice up on the screen, what do I do if a kid doesn't want to participate? What do I do if a kid is having a hard time listening? When do I call for a director, which would be Kim or Amanda or Sarah or I? So all these are really great questions. I'm sure you're thinking like, I'm not gonna have any discipline problems this week. This will be no big deal. If you do, I mean, just in the off chance, if you do. I just want you to engage them as much as you can by knowing them. Okay, so we're just talking about forming a relationship with them. Invite them to participate with you. You are definitely gonna have a kid who is like, arms crossed, my mom made me come tonight and I don't wanna be involved in this. And honestly, what I would first do is let them sit. Let them sit there, let them be a little bit bummed out that they are having to participate in this and they can't even believe it. Because if they see other people around them having fun, chances are you will not have to prod them much into that. So let them kind of have their moment and then invite them in by you being the active participant. If you're having fun, chances are they're going to want to jump in and have fun too. And sometimes, I mean, raise your hand if you were the shy kid in the room as a kid. I was so shy as a kid, and so I really needed to be able to just see what was going on before I jumped in. That's going to be some kids too. They're not trying to be defiant. They're just shy, you know? So give them the time and the space to kind of figure that out. Okay, so what if they're having a hard time listening? Well, first of all, you can remind them that it's time to listen. If they're really having an issue, sometimes just your proximity to them can be helpful. So just going and sitting by them can kind of re-engage them to what's going on. It's like, oh, the teacher's sitting by me, I better pay attention. And then if you're having two kids in your group that are just not wanting to pay attention, just plant yourself right in between them. It's fine. They can be friends through you instead, okay? Okay, and so when do I call for a director is our last question up there. And I would say that if their behavior is continually disruptive to what you're doing, if other kids are missing out on something because you've really got a kid who's causing you issues, I would say that is a great time to come find one of us. Let us connect with that kid for a little bit, love on him for a bit, and then we'll bring him back to you when we think things are back in order. Also, if they are showing aggressiveness, or sometimes you're going to have a kid in your group that is a runner. Those are the hardest. I'm really sorry if you have a runner in your group this week that just tend to wander off, or they start running. If their safety is at stake, definitely come and find one of us. And we are more than happy to help with that. Okay, so just to kind of go back over a few things, tips or tricks to keep the kids engaged: participate with them, keep things lighthearted and fun, get to know them on a personal level, and also just remind them of the mega point each night, and act excited, because it's fun to be here and we want them to feel the same way.
Okay, I'm going to go over briefly some important safety things. Obviously, we want to be able to have a fun time, but safety is really important with that. We want to make sure that kids feel safe, and then also that you're safe too. And so there's a few different things that we're going to do with that. I want to just kind of build off of what Brittany said. Last year we had a kid who had a really hard time staying focused, and he was literally running in circles around the entire auditorium. And we had the amazing privilege of getting to build a relationship with him. And so if that does happen, we have several people who have asked to be floaters. And so we do have additional people where we can try to put someone together with them as kind of a buddy or a shadow system, just to make sure they have one-on-one attention. So if you feel like that's maybe a need for someone in your group, please let us know that so that we can help meet that need as well, okay? Okay, so important safety things. The first thing is the one-on-one rule. This really goes for anyone that's working with minors to never be alone with a child in any capacity. There always needs to be at least one background checked adult. So just a reminder, if you haven't filled out your background check form that was sent to you, I know several of you were like, is this legit? Like, should I fill this out? Yes, it's legit. Please fill it out. We need that done before you can serve. So there needs to be at least one background check adult, or another background check adult, so right, two, or a background check an adult and a teen, okay? So that counts as two with a child, and then that way you can be with a child, okay? So just make sure that you're aware of that, the one-on-one rule. The other thing is the bathroom guidelines, and then also practicing safe touching. So for bathroom guidelines, never send ever two kids to the bathroom together. So something that you might not be aware of, but peer-on-peer sexual abuse has risen by 300% in the last several years, which means a child usually might see another child that's younger or maybe at a lesser status in them, whether it's a disability that they might have. And so that's where we're seeing a lot of sexual abuse happen. So with that then, there never should be two kids alone together either. There needs to always be adults present with that. So never send kids to the bathroom together alone. Really, if there needs to be bathroom time, there needs to be two adults going. If you're elementary age, the bathroom that your guys are going to be using is our regular bathrooms right out here. If you're early child age, you guys are going to be using the bathroom that's in the hallway. What they've done in the past, I know, and Amanda will probably talk to you a little bit about this, is they try to have designated bathroom times where you guys are going together in a group, and that might be something that you want to do as an elementary. But in case, let's say you only have two adults, right, and you don't have an extra person to get to go to the bathroom, what we'll do is we have a building monitor, and that's going to be Lynn Medina here. And so just grab Lynn and say, hey, can you be my other person to go to the bathroom? And so what you guys will do is just, the kid can go in, you can just stand on the outside, you don't have to literally stand in the bathroom with them. But if they are a younger age kid and they do need some help, so that's really just going to be in our early childhood, 3 to 5 years kids, and they need to help, make sure you have another adult there, that the door stays open and you're in line of sight with someone else as well. So that's really important. The other thing I want to point out is teens, no matter what the age, so unless you're over the age of 18, you're never allowed to go to the bathroom with, you're not allowed to be that person that's going to be walking to the bathroom as well. So that's really important to monitor. All right, counting your group practice safe touching. So for that one, Scott Kramer, will you stand up, please? All right. Okay, Morgan, I need you to stand up. You guys can come up here. Okay. And you are going to get to know people, right? And this goes for anyone. This is like the youth pastor thing. Can you please show the side hug? This is appropriate, right? Side hug. All right. Or high fives. We love high fives. Great. A pat on the back even. Whoever has Scott Kramer in your group, have fun this week. It's going to be great. So that's safe touching. Don't do front hugs. Doesn't matter. Just don't do it. We're just, again, we live in a world where this is unfortunately things that we're needing to put into place because of things that have happened. So side hugs, high fives, pat on the back, all definitely okay. All right? If you have younger age kids, you can sit down now. Thank you. Thank you. The side hug. If you have younger age kids, and there's so maybe they're sitting on your lap, things like that. If we could just keep that to a minimum, I think that's probably good. Again, we're just wanting to be as safe as possible, just because we want to have God-honoring environments. So make sure you're doing that. Counting your group and staying together. So there's going to be a lot of movement here at this camp. You're going to be going from place to place. Count your group before you leave and count your group once you get there. We had a situation one time where a kid had signed in, but then the parents ended up actually taking them. So we thought they were here, but we couldn't find them because they were registered and they were in. Oh, it was really scary. I thought someone got kidnapped. But that literally could happen. You never know. Or a kid might run, right? Like, this stuff happens on Sunday mornings. We've had kids run out of Sunday school and things like that. So please just make sure that you're counting your groups, you know who's in your group. We'll give you up-to-date rosters right when rally starts so that you'll know exactly who's in your group, okay? And the other thing is staying together. When you are walking to like the house or the fields, don't have kids running way out in front of you. Walk together as a group, because that way, like I said, we're just keeping everyone together for that. The check-in and check-out, making sure that everyone who comes into here has their name tag on, and when the parents come and pick up, huddle coaches, you guys are in charge of making sure that the name tag meet me. Gosh, dang it. I really thought I need to put that in my note. Your name tag, it needs to match the code with their code as well. So if they don't have it, maybe they lost it, you need to find a director or myself, and we will check the driver's license to make sure it's the right person, okay? Like I said, parents will get mad at you, but just lovingly say that this is for them, okay? So that's really important that we're doing that every single time. And also, during their checkout time, and I'll walk you through this at the end of rally as well, making sure your kids stay seated during that time is really important, just so there's not absolute chaos as parents are trying to find their kids. And then finally, please stay out of the parking lot. So when you're walking to the fields and house and things like that, we just have very short parking lots, and it's really hard to see when kids kind of dart in and out, and there will be people driving and things like that. So just make sure you stay on the sidewalks or in the grass. And when it comes to parking, if you could do us a favor and park for volunteers, either in the gravel lot by the house or in the back of the church, that will leave room for people in the community to use, you know, the front and side parking lots as well, okay? All right, let me check my notes to make sure I didn't forget anything. Let's see here. That's it. All right. So during this time, we're going to have specifically meet with the 6 to 12 huddle coaches and assistants and head coaches. And you guys are going to stay right here. And then the 3 to 5 group is going to meet in the double classroom. Just so you know, directors, afterwards, if you guys could, huddle coaches, meet with the head coaches in here or in the double classroom, just so you guys can touch base on what you guys are going to be doing for the week, just so you guys are on the same page. That's great. So at this time, you guys can transition, and we'll finish up our training.
Okay, good. Because we're kind of, counting all the positions. So, first, I just want to say thank you for volunteering and helping with the little kickers and everything. They are so fun. They are so fun. I'm watching the 3 to 5-year-olds. Thanks. Do the activities, and just it's so much fun. But everyone has a binder or a packet that has a bunch of information on it or in it. There's 4 sessions that we'll rotate through. We have Bible with Miss Pam, and we have music with Brooke, which is new. Last year, by like 7:30, they're done. They were so tired and everything because they had one sit-down inside activity, and then the others were all outside, and it was like 90 degrees outside, and we were just like done. So I came up with let's do music, and everyone likes to sing. So we have Bible with Miss Pam, music with Miss Brooke. We have games with Adam, and then games with Adam, kicking with Luke, or games with Luke, and kicking with Adam. And so they're going to be doing a lot of physical activities, but there will be time for them to kind of just chill and have some downtime and everything. The number one thing that I want to emphasize is just love on them. Just play with them, be with them, guide them, don't lose them. I do not have a house big enough to have little kids at my house anymore. So I just make sure they get back with their parents. But no, really, being with the little kickers is like the easiest thing you can do. I mean, just love on them. We do have, our sessions are 20 to 25 minutes. We do have time in there for transition. And that's when I would advise to go to the bathroom. Yes, we only have one. But as long as the older kids aren't using the main restroom, we'll use that also. Especially if you have like 7 little ones need to go to the restroom all at the same time, we'll go over to the big restroom also. Just remember that the 101, if you have kiddos needing to go to the restroom, I will always be in the hallway along with Lynn, and we have lots of other people that can help. This year, we actually have a lot of volunteers. Last year, I was freaking out because we had 60 kids and 6 adults. When I was like, oh my gosh, where are we going to put all these kids and everything? This year, we have not as many as 60 kids, but we have so many more adults that can help. So that'd be great. And my teams and everything are great helpers. Rally time is probably the most difficult time for these kiddos. It is loud. They're 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. They don't want to leave mommy or daddy. The best thing for you guys to do is just encourage them, and it's like, oh, come on, you can do this. And just kind of keep them in your group, keep them calm, and but they will cry during rally time. I don't know how many kids last year, they were just bawling because they were so scared. And if that happens, that's what we're here for, just kind of love on them. And I know my head coaches, some of you already have jobs, but if I know Adam, I don't think you're an usher, but if you'll just be in there kind of helping during the rally times also, that'd be great. Let's see. Each huddle group will have a balloon, huddle group 1, or little kickers 1, 2, 3, 4, will all have your own designated area to sit. We will be marking them off with jump ropes. Each huddle group leader, I know Megan and Zion, you guys are huddle group leaders. Katie, Rebecca, Betsy, Tanya, am I missing it? Vicki and Monica. You guys are all my huddle coaches. You'll have a jump rope, put them in a circle, keep all the kids inside the circle. However you want to organize them in your little group, be creative. My teens, you'll be with a huddle coach. The jump rope is leader, a huddle coach on the front, teen on the back, kids in between to keep them going place to place. Really easy. Great way to keep them organized. Right now, we have 7 kiddos in each huddle group, so that's a pretty doable number. It may get smaller, or it will not get bigger. I told Sarah we cannot have more than 14 in a classroom. That's just crazy. So it will not get bigger, but the groups may get a little smaller. So, I'm trying to think. Teens, you guys are just there to help the huddle coaches get the kids where they need to be, make sure you don't lose them. Huddle coaches, what I would do maybe is have the teens, since they'll be at the end of the line, have the teens make sure, just count again. You count, and then have the teens help count to make sure you have everyone. Let's see, trying to think. Yes.
So, I think we're all. We want to make sure what says the LK2.
The LK2, LK1, okay, just ignore that. Because I don't know. When we put these together, the LK, and it'll say like LK1-1, that's Little Kickers Huddle Group 1, or Little Kickers Huddle Group 2. Right now, I don't have enough kids for all 4 huddle groups, So we're kind of dividing them up more. So I don't have you guys assigned to an actual huddle group yet. You will get an email from me tomorrow with your huddle group co-teacher. You'll have your huddle group leader, your assistant, and then the kids that will be in your huddle group tomorrow, and everything. So I do know, like, I'm trying to think. I know, I'm trying to think who I have them all set up with. I know, like, Tanya and Karina is a group together. I'm trying to think. My brain, because you guys, we've changed these so many times, but you'll get a finalized list. This is your huddle group. This is your assistant. These are your kids, and everything. And then the schedule on there, you'll see, like, Little Kickers 1 will go here first. Then, so your schedule will be, you know. So describe. You can
Ignore this one.
ignore
Ignore
that.
this right now.
Yes.
But so whatever you send me, then I will know whether I'm a
Yes.
1, a 2, a 3, or a 4.
Right, exactly. That's a good question, because when we were putting this together, like, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, it was all perfect, and then things changed. So, and I've added more people, and yeah. So, I'm trying to think what else. Head coaches, I have the Bible stories for you, and I'll have craft. Did you get the materials, or do you need me to?
I got
Okay. Just give me
it. I did have a question. Is snack in Bible time? Or
No,
is that somewhere
snack is somewhere else.
else? Okay.
Because we wanted to give you more time for Bible. So with Bible time, you'll go there, you'll have your Bible story, you'll do a craft, and it's a 3-day process. So you won't be taking something home every day. So that's a good thing. I like that. And then Brooke will do music, and during music time, you'll have about 5-7 minutes for a snack. It's really quick, easy snack. Easy. And then Luke will be doing games and kicking with Adam will be outside. One group will be on this side, and then the other group will be on this side. And there'll be water outside, so if they need water breaks, we'll have plenty of water breaks. Anything else? Yes.
I had a quick question about, like, they said don't do front hugs, and so I had a quick question. If we have a 3-year-old needing to be picked up, like, how do we?
Yes, that's a good. You guys have 3, 4, 5-year-olds, and yes, they're going to come up and run and give you a front hug, or they're going to want you to pick them up. We're okay with that. Just be cautious about what you're doing. And I know you're going to have little kids. If you're sitting crisscross applesauce in Bibles or in music or outside, they're going to want to sit on your lap. That's okay. Try to discourage the sitting on the lap and have them sit next to you. But they're little. They're going to want you to love on them. And as long as you're within the group and you're not by yourself and everything, we understand. And I know my little niece will be here, and she's going to want to love on me, and it's going to be hard to tell her no. But, and I know, like, Brooke, your children are going to, probably want loves and everything. And I know we have a lot of Sunday school teachers in here, so you guys, they know you, so they may want, so just use caution and everything. Yeah. Any other questions? Yes.
Okay, so if you said we could use the front restrooms, okay, there are 3 stalls. Do we still just let one at a time go in, or do we let more than one and somebody go in, 2 people go in there?
If that comes to the point where we need to use that, come get me,
Okay,
and I will be that other person so we can have 2 at a time.
okay.
Because I know that ran into an issue last year. We had a couple little kids. I mean, they were like, and we're like, and I'm like, no. So we took him in there, but we had a lot of adults watching. But we tried to avoid that area because the big kids are using it. But we're, if you have like 3 or 4 of your group needing to go, we understand. But hopefully they won't need to use the restroom as much, as often. Hopefully. But I felt like last year I was at the bathroom all the entire time. So it's going to happen. And I do have, like, Alyssa and Zoe, they're going to be assisting Brooke in music. And Abby's going to be assisting Miss Pam in Bible story. So we may have to pull one of you guys to help do the restroom real quick. You know, and I know, Marcy, you may be another one that we may just say, oh, can you come and help do a restroom? So there'll be plenty of people. So if we do have to use that big bathroom, we'll have plenty of people to help and everything. And of course, you know, going outside, we will, myself or Lynn will be out there, you know, just making sure you guys are getting to where you need to be safely outside too. So, yes?
How are we getting outside? Are we going
Through the playground door. That's a good question. Because what we'll do is we'll always use that playground door because that's the area we'll be at. We don't want to use any of the other doors because the big kids are using that. We want to try to contain our area just right there. So, and there will be big kids in this classroom and in a workout room, so you'll see them around and everything. But we're trying to keep the little kickers just in this area and out there. So, anything else? Okay. One last question: has everyone done the background check? Adults, kids don't.
No.
Yes. Yes. Okay, perfect. I know some of you all the time because you're back here anyway. So, okay. Any other questions? Yes.
One thing, I have been at the church for a little less than a year.
Oh,
I might need like a tour because I don't really
no
know
problem. We
where-
can do it right at the end.
Okay.
Yes.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Yes. I will be more than happy. Yeah, I'll be more than happy to show you where you're going to be at. My head coaches, the pre-K and 5 classroom, that's where all your supplies will be. Balls or bean bags or whatever you need, they'll be in there. Snack I'll already have in your room, and you'll already have your craft and everything. But other than that, I mean, huddle coaches, you guys don't need to bring anything. I know last year they had a bag to put like their binder in or a pin in. If you want to do that, you can do that too. But there won't be any an art project going home until Friday, so that's really easy.
About the Friday art project, how do we want to do that? Because by then they will all have something.
They all right.
So how do we want to do that? Is there going to be going place to place? You want to just leave?
Leave them in your classroom, and I will.
could help carry them.
Yeah, I was
over
thinking-
to the auditorium.
I was thinking like between the head coaches and my assistants, like Alyssa and Zoe and Marcy, we will be able to help get
just
the.
go pass them
Yeah.
out. Okay.
We'll do that.
So
I think that'll be.
yeah.
I think that'll be
Divide
the
them up by
best.
huddles and-
Yeah, that'll probably be the best
Okay.
and everything. Okay. Last thing, I think. Last 2 things. I really, because they're 3, 4, 5-year-olds, I really don't think they'll make a decision to have, ask Jesus in their heart. But maybe, maybe a 5-year-old will. I don't know. But if they do, that's what this decision card is for. You just write their name and you can say salvation, rededication, prayer request. Maybe a 5-year-old wants to have Jesus in their heart. I don't know. But if they come to you and say, that's what these are for, okay? Only the huddle coaches have them. The head coaches, you guys don't have them. Only the huddle coaches have them. But if you run out of them, let me know. Because we will be sharing the gospel Friday. I think it's Friday. We will be sharing, the gospel with them. So, but that's what that's for. And then all the huddle coaches have these. These are the I did it or we did it cards. I did it cards. Send these home every night. You may forget. That's okay. But it's just it has the mega point on it, the Bible verse, tonight's lesson, and then what they're supposed to do is they're supposed to fill it out, turn it back in the next night. and then their name goes into a drawing and wonderful, fabulous prizes. If you forget to do it, it's okay. Because at the end of the night, you're tired, they're cranky. So, try to hand these out I hand them to the parents. And if you run out, just let me know. But there's 8 in the packet. That's what these are for. There's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
That's the only way they have a chance to get their name drawn, right? For
Yes,
prize.
it
So,
is.
yeah.
It is their only way of getting a chance to have their name. So try to get them out, because especially like if Ellen, I'm going to use, if Ellen gets one and Lynn doesn't, that's gonna be heartbreaking.
Nightmares for me.
And but try to hand them out because I would give them to the parents. Like, here you go. Here you go.
And
That's
explain to them what it's for because I didn't know.
Yes.
Last year, and my kids were like, why don't we do
Yes.
it? Friends?
So I'm gonna give this to them at the end of the night, and it has like the mega point. Like Wednesday's mega point is I'm chosen by God, and Mega Man's gonna come around, and if he comes around, you want your kids to say this with them and everything. It's really, really cool. And it has the Bible verse on there. What the lesson. It's kind of like telling the parents, this is what your kids learn today, and they just need to put their name on it. I mean, 3-year-olds may not know what the mega point is, but it'll give the parents an idea that know their child, yes, their child came to have fun, but they also learned a little bit about God.
So do we collect this like on Thursday night?
Thursday night, there will be a bucket, and they'll just throw it in there. And if they hand it to you, that's fine, just collect it and then throw it in the bucket.
And it's just a name drawing, so they won't absolutely get a prize.
No, if they draw their name, they'll get a prize.
Right, but so if they do this, like, I won't say do this and you'll get a prize.
No. And just encourage them. Encourage them. Some of the prizes are kind of cool. I was like, I want that. But yes,
So
they
there'll
won't.
be no prizes on Wednesday.
No prizes Wednesday. It's Thursday, Friday, and I don't know if they're gonna do. Usually it's just Thursday and Friday is when they'll get that prize. Okay.
And we're not doing any like questions. with the
No,
or
we are not like in there with Sarah. They she talked about Miss Brittany talked about the huddle coaches asking questions or anything. That was for the older kids. Our Bible time is through Pam.
She has all the responsibility.
She has all the responsibility to guide them spiritually.
That means I need the little slip of paper for them when they make the decision.
Yes, I will give you
have any of
some. I will
those.
give you some. Yes, so all the Bible time and everything. But if you want, like walking through, from one session to another, you think, hey, remember that? So you can definitely encourage that discussion. Or you can talk to them about the Bible verse or the mega points. Definitely, as you're walking through, or when we're sitting in the auditorium at the end, trying to keep them huddled together, go over the Bible verse again with them. Go over the mega point with them. That way they have, that connection. And I think it takes like 7 times for something to be ingrained in your mind. So if you want them to memorize the mega point, keep telling them the mega point. And keep going over it with them and everything. As you're walking through, make it your chant. Make it fun as you're walking from session to session. Okay?
They aren't actually gonna get they won't be in the rally when those kids are given the opportunity to accept prize.
No.
That happens in the Bible.
That
story.
happens during the
Yeah,
Bible
okay,
story.
So they're different from.
Yes,
what
the
they're
only
up to.
time we are with the big kids is right at the very beginning, and it will be crazy. I will tell you that now. I was overwhelmed my first year. I went, oh my gosh, and I had big kids. And then at the very end, so when we're done, and we've done our 4 rotations, we will head back to the auditorium, and we'll sit within our same little spot and everything. And so those are the only 2 times that we'll be with the big kids, which is good, because those big kids kind of scary for the little ones. But yeah. So, any other questions?
So my group
Yes.
in the auditorium will have my balloon with will it say little kickers and then group
Um,
1?
You'll have, I believe, all the little kicker balloons are the same color, and then there will be a sign. I don't know how big a sign, but there'll be a sign that has Little Kickers 1. And then, so both groups for Little Kicker 1, Group 1 and Group 2, will be in that group. And then same with Little Kickers 2. There'll be Little Kickers 2, 1, Little Kickers 2, 2. Okay.
There's subdivisions up.
Right.
Okay, got it.
Yes, yes. And then you'll just sit with that group, and everyone will have a jump rope. And at the end of the night, just give me back the jump rope. Binders, if you want to leave them here. At the end of every night, that's fine. Just make sure you have it. And I will give you rosters every day, so you know who's in your class. Head coaches, I will give you a roster also, just so you have an idea who's going to be there. So.
We leave these here at the end of camp, right?
Yes, at the end of camp, you will leave me your binders so we can reuse them next year. And then head coaches, the only thing I require or ask of you, I should say ask of you, is at the end Friday night, if you can just help me put the room back together. Some of them are going to be really easy push tables. I know Adam and Luke, you won't have a room to put back together, but if you can see if you can help the other two or multimedia or this room kind of get back together to be ready for Sundays. So that's it.
And you said you'll have the stuff for outside.
Yes.
Do you want to set that up before the rally starts? Or?
Yes, I will be here probably like 4, just to make sure everything's set up for us and everything. So if you want to get here before dinner to help set up, you can. Or if you want to wait until the rally starts and help, because we have about a 20-minute rally first thing, 20-minute rally first thing, that the head coaches, unless you're an usher, you won't have anything but staying, with the kiddos and everything. But, and then, like I know Brooke and Pam, your room will already, but Adam and Luke, you'll just take your stuff and put them back into that classroom. And then the next day, just take it and everything. So, but I think I have all of your guys' supplies, I think. And if you come up and you're like, oh, I need this, just let me know. And any other questions? Wear your shirts. Wear comfy shoes. I think that's it. Any other questions?
Are you gonna have water set up outside?
We will. Josh is looking for the water cooler because they have one. But some teenager told me that they hot glued it shut one time.
What?
Yeah. I don't know who did it, but we're trying to figure that out. So we will have water, I promise. We will. We will definitely have water. It'll be right outside as you, outside the playground door, so you can come in, get as much water as possible. Pray for nice weather, not 90 degrees like it was last year. It looks like it's supposed to be nice. I know, yay! Okay. I know Betsy and your name, I'm sorry. Parker. I know I need to see you guys, but other than that, I think let's pray real quick, and then you guys can go.
Before we pray, I would just like to thank you because
Oh,
this is so organized.
well,
and
thanks.
you've done an amazing job, so
Well, thank
it'll
you.
get crazy after this, so thank you.
Yes, yes. But it's I enjoy it. Thank you. So let's pray real quick, and you guys can go. Dear Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you for these wonderful volunteers who have graciously stepped up and said, yes, I am willing to serve you and serve the children of our church. And I just ask that you give us the energy, the patience to be with these kiddos these next 3 days, or for the 3 days that we have them, and just help us be Jesus to each and every one of these kiddos. And I just again thank you for this wonderful opportunity that we have, and just give us the peace and the knowledge and everything that we need, and open their little hearts and minds to your word. In your precious son's name, amen. Okay.